What if I told you that a penny, a single, dirty, beat-up penny sitting in a jar on your shelf right now, could be worth $100,000 or more? I'm dead serious. And today, I'm showing you the top 5 most valuable Lincoln pennies ever minted, including one the U.S. government tried to hide from the public. Number 5. The 1958 Double Die Ober. Only 2 confirmed specimens exist in the entire world. One sold at auction for over $1.1 million. It looks almost identical to a normal penny. Almost. Number 4. The 1957 Proof Penny. Most people toss these, collectors fight over them. The right grade, the right condition. We're talking thousands of dollars for a coin that was supposedly worth 1 cent. Number 3. The 1956 D over D repunched mint. You need a loupe to see it, but once you do, you'll never look at change the same way again. Number 2. The 1955 doubled die. This is the holy grail for beginners. The date and lettering are visibly doubled with the naked eye. Worn, circulated examples sell for $1,500. Mint state, try $50,000. And number 1, the 1943 copper steel penny. During World War II, the U.S. Mint switched to steel to save copper for the war effort. But just a handful of copper blanks slipped through by accident. If you find one that doesn't stick to a magnet, you may be holding $250,000 in your hand. These coins are out there, in coin jars, in old collections, at flea markets. People are finding them right now, and they have no idea what they're holding. Stick with me for the next few minutes, because I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, where to look, and how to tell the real ones from the fakes so you don't leave money on the table. Let's get into it. Hold on tight, because what you're about to discover will absolutely blow your mind and might just make you sprint to your coin jar the moment this video ends. Welcome back to the channel. And today, we are diving deep into one of the most jaw-dropping, spine-tingling, while exploding, secrets hidden inside the world of coin collecting. A tiny copper-colored disc that has haunted treasure hunters, baffled historians, ignited bidding wars at the world's most prestigious auction houses, and turned ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Yes? We are talking about the legendary, the notorious, the utterly rare 1943 steel penny. A coin so steeped in history, mystery, error, and controversy that it has earned its throne as the undisputed king of American numismatic rarities. So let's start at the very beginning, because understanding why this coin exists requires us to travel back to the darkest, most desperate days of World War II, a time when the United States government was so starved for copper to manufacture shell casings, ammunition, and military equipment for the front lines of battle that the U.S. Treasury made the absolutely shocking and unprecedented decision to strip the beloved Lincoln cent coin that had been struck in 95% copper since 1909 of its traditional metal composition and replace it with zinc-coated steel, a dull, gray, magnetic substitute that looked nothing like any American coin ever produced before. And when these ghostly, silver-looking pennies hit circulation in 1943, the American public was utterly bewildered and frankly horrified, with countless people mistaking them for dimes, others claiming they were counterfeits, and even early slot machines and vending machines rejecting them outright because their magnetic properties threw off every coin-operated mechanism in existence. Now here's where the story gets absolutely electrifying, because while the United States Mint in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco collectively struck over 1 billion of these encoded steel cents in 1943, a tiny, almost impossibly small number of copper planchets, the blank discs used to stamp coins, were accidentally left over in the presses from 1942 production. And before mint workers realized the catastrophic error, a handful of these leftover copper blanks were fed through the dies and struck as genuine 1943 pennies, creating what collectors and historians now call the holy grail of American coinage. The 1943 copper penny, an accidental masterpiece of mint error so rare, so breathtakingly scarce, that only an estimated 20 to 40 genuine specimens are believed to exist across all 3 mint facilities combined. And when one of these copper phantoms surfaces at auction, brace yourself, because the prices are nothing short of INSANE, a 1943D copper Lincoln cent. The Denver Mint variety sold at auction for a staggering $1.7 million, while other examples have fetched anywhere from $100,000 to over $500,000 depending on their grade, provenance, and mint mark, turning what appears to the naked eye to be an ordinary penny into a coin worth more than most luxury homes. But wait, because the story of the 1943 steel penny doesn't stop at copper errors, not even close, because the steel cents themselves carry their own universe of mind-blowing varieties, errors, and rarities that send serious collectors into an absolute frenzy, including doubled die obverse errors, where Lincoln's portrait appears ghosted or doubled due to a misalignment in the hubbing process, Repunched mint marks, where the DRS mint mark was struck more than once at slightly different angles, leaving a dramatic overlapping shadow. Off-center strikes where Lincoln's image drifts dramatically away from center, creating an artistically chaotic and collectible masterpiece of mechanical failure. And full strike versus weak strike varieties, where the sharpness and detail of the coin's devices can mean the difference between a $5 bargain bin coin and a certified gem worth thousands. Now let's talk about mint marks, because this is where things get really fascinating for new and veteran collectors alike. The 1943 steel penny was produced at 3 facilities. Philadelphia, which struck coins with no mint mark, Denver identified by a small d beneath the date, and San Francisco identified by an S. And while all three are technically common in circulated grades, finding a pristine, uncirculated gem quality, example graded MS67 or higher, by PCGS or NGC, is a completely different story. The flawlessly struck 1943's steel, sent in gem uncirculated condition, has sold for over $25,000. Proving that even the common version of this coin can be worth a small fortune if it survives 7 decades without a scratch. And here's a pro tip that might save you from one of the most common and embarrassing mistakes in the hobby. Thousands of people every single year convince themselves they've found a 1943 copper penny. Rush to a coin dealer, hearts pounding, palms sweating, only to discover their coin is merely a steel cent that has been copper-plated, either as a novelty item, a magic trick prop, or a deliberate counterfeit. And the dead simple test to expose these fakes is a magnet. Because genuine steel cents are strongly magnetic, while true copper examples are completely non-magnetic. So always ALWAYS. Test first, before you let your imagination run wild. The history surrounding these coins is also deeply human and emotionally powerful. Because during the war years, Americans were asked to sacrifice everything. Rubber, nylon, sugar, gasoline, and even their pennies became instruments of patriotic duty, with the government launching public awareness campaigns explaining why the familiar copper cent had vanished from their change. And some citizens were so unsettled by these strange gray coins that they hoarded pre-war copper cents by the jar, inadvertently creating the very scarcity that makes high-grade pre-war Lincolns so collectible today. And speaking of collecting, the 1943 steel cent has become one of the most fascinating entry points for new abesis, because unlike many rare coins that exist in a dusty museum display case and will never be touched by ordinary hands, the steel penny is genuinely accessible. You can still find them in circulation, in old coin rolls, in grandparents' jars, and the thrill of the hunt, the possibility that hiding beneath a pile of clad quarters might be a coin worth $1 million, is the kind of electric, adrenaline-soaked excitement that makes numismatics one of the most addictive hobbies on earth. Key factors that determine value in 1943 steel cents include: strike quality, was the full design fully impressed into the metal? Surface preservation, are there bag marks, contact marks, or signs of cleaning? Luster, does the coin still have its original mint-fresh brilliance? Eye appeal, does it simply look spectacular? And of course, the all-important professional grade assigned by PCGS or NGC, the two most respected independent grading services in the world, whose certified holders, called slabs, transform raw coins into investment-grade assets with documented, guaranteed authenticity. And at the apex of this entire hobby, at the very pinnacle of desirability, sits that mind-melting 1943 copper cent. A coin so rare that even the FBI has been involved in hunting down counterfeits. A coin that Abraham Lincoln himself, whose portrait graces its face, would have been stunned to know would one day sell for more than $1,700,000 at a single auction. So the next time you reach into your pocket and pull out a handful of change, slow down, take a breath, and look, really look. Because history has proven time and again that the most spectacular fortunes are sometimes hiding in the most ordinary places. In one magnetic test, one careful glance at a date, one trip to a coin dealer could change your life forever. If you found this video as mind-blowing as we think you did, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more incredible deep dives into the hidden treasures of the numismatic world, and drop a comment below telling us, have you ever found an amazing coin in circulation? We read every single one. And until next time, keep hunting, keep collecting, and never ever throw away your old pennies. Get ready for one of the most electrifying, jaw-dropping, and legendary stories in the world of coin collecting. Because today, we are diving deep into the astonishing universe of the 1955 Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that has shocked collectors, broken auction records, and turned ordinary pocket change into life-changing treasure. And if you think all pennies are worthless, this story is about to completely flip your reality upside down. Because hidden within the seemingly humble 1 cent coin lies one of the most famous minting mistakes in history. A dramatic error, so bold, so unmistakable, and so incredibly rare that it has become the holy grail for collectors worldwide. And we are talking about the iconic 1955 double-die Lincoln cent. A coin that looks like it has been printed twice, with the words, "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date itself appearing in a dramatic, eye-popping doubled effect that can be seen even without a magnifying glass, making it one of the most visually striking and instantly recognizable era coins ever produced. And the story begins at the Philadelphia Mint, where a misalignment during the die creation process caused this dramatic doubling effect. And instead of catching the error in time, thousands of these coins were accidentally released into circulation, slipping into the hands of unsuspecting Americans who had no idea they were holding a future fortune in their pockets. And what makes this even more thrilling is that unlike many rare coins that were never circulated, the 1955 double-die penny actually showed up in everyday transactions, buying a soda or a newspaper and receiving one of these legendary coins as change, completely unaware that you were holding something that could one day be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. And over the decades, collectors began to realize just how special this coin was, and demand skyrocketed, turning it into one of the most sought-after era coins in the entire numismatic world, with high-grade examples selling for staggering amounts at auctions, sometimes reaching over $100,000 depending on condition, and even lower-grade examples can fetch thousands, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever minted. And when we talk about rarity, the 1955 double die stands in a league of its own, because although approximately 20,000 to 24,000 examples are believed to exist, many have been lost, damaged, or remain undiscovered, making high-quality specimens incredibly scarce and fiercely competed for among collectors. And the value of these coins is heavily influenced by condition, with uncirculated coins displaying their original red luster, commanding the highest premiums, while worn examples still maintain significant value due to their legendary status. And beyond the famous doubled die, the 1955 Lincoln Penny series also includes other varieties and factors that influence value, including mint marks, as coins were also produced at the Denver and San Francisco mints, marked with a small DRS, although these do not feature the dramatic doubling seen on the Philadelphia era coin, but can still hold collectible value depending on condition. And then we enter the fascinating world of errors and varieties, where collectors hunt for off-center strikes, die cracks, repunched mint marks, and other anomalies that can further increase a coin's desirability and price. And the thrill of the hunt is what makes coin collecting so addictive, because you never know when you might stumble upon a hidden gem. And auctions for the 1955 double-die penny are nothing short of intense, with bidders from around the globe competing for the chance to own a piece of numismatic history. And major auction houses have recorded jaw-dropping sales, with pristine examples achieving record-breaking prices that continue to climb as demand grows and supply remains limited. And collectors are particularly obsessed with coins graded by professional services like PCGS and NGC, as these certifications guarantee authenticity and condition, adding another layer of trust and value to the coin. And when it comes to key factors that determine the worth of a 1955 Lincoln penny, the most important include whether it is the famous double die variety, its overall condition, color classification, red, brown, or brown, strike quality, and eye appeal, all of which can dramatically impact its market value. And for those dreaming of discovering one, it is crucial to carefully examine the date and lettering for signs of doubling, because the difference between an ordinary penny and a rare treasure can be life-changing. And the legacy of the 1955 Lincoln penny continues to captivate collectors and enthusiasts, serving as a powerful reminder that even the smallest and most overlooked objects can hold extraordinary value. And as stories of lucky finds and record-breaking sales continue to circulate, the legend of this coin only grows stronger, fueling the dreams of collectors everywhere who hope to one day uncover their own hidden fortune. So the next time you come across a handful of old pennies, don't dismiss them as mere spare change, because you might just be holding one of the most famous and valuable coins in history. A tiny copper masterpiece that has stunned the world and proven that sometimes the greatest treasures come in the smallest packages. Asterisk, if you're holding a 1955 Lincoln penny and dreaming of turning that tiny piece of copper into a serious payday, then listen closely, because this is where collectors separate amateurs from pros and where a simple coin can explode in value if you play your cards right. And we're talking specifically about the legendary 1955 Lincoln wheat penny doubled die obverse, one of the most famous era coins ever minted in the United States. So the very first rule, and this is critical, is do not rush to sell, because the biggest mistake beginners make is accepting the first offer they get. often from local dealers or random buyers who are hoping you don't know what you have, and that can cost you thousands of dollars instantly. Instead, you need to slow down and approach this like a strategic mission, starting with authentication, because if your coin is not verified, you are leaving money on the table. Serious collectors and high-end buyers only trust coins graded by top companies like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company, and getting your coin graded by one of these services can dramatically increase its value, sometimes doubling or even tripling what someone would pay for an uncertified coin, because grading confirms authenticity, assigns a condition score, and protects your coin in a tamper-proof holder, making it far more attractive in the marketplace. And once your coin is graded, the next power move is choosing the right selling platform, because where you sell is just as important as what you sell. And this is where smart sellers dominate the game, because platforms like eBay can give you access to millions of buyers worldwide. But you must use auction-style listings with high-quality images and detailed descriptions to create bidding wars, because competition drives prices up. While premium auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stacks, Bowers Galleries are where the real magic happens for high-value coins. These platforms attract elite collectors who are willing to pay top dollar, sometimes setting record-breaking prices, especially for coins in mint state condition. And if your coin is heat, sending it to one of these auction houses could mean the difference between a few $1,000s and a jaw-dropping 5-figure sale. And here's another powerful secret. Timing matters more than most people realize. Selling your coin when the market is hot, when demand for rare era coins is trending, or during major coin shows and auction events can significantly boost your final price. And you should also study past sales to understand what similar coins have sold for, because knowledge is leverage, and the more informed you are, the harder it is for anyone to undervalue your coin. And now let's talk about presentation, because this is where you psychologically influence buyers. You need crystal clear, high-resolution photos showing every detail of the doubling, the luster, and the condition, especially close-ups of Liberty and the date, because that dramatic doubling is what makes collectors go crazy. And your description should be packed with powerful, attention-grabbing language that highlights rarity, historical significance, and demand, making buyers feel like they are competing for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. They never underestimate the power of storytelling, because when buyers feel the history and excitement behind a coin, they are willing to pay more. And here's a crucial warning: avoid cleaning your coin at all costs, because cleaning can destroy its value instantly, even if it looks dirty. Collectors prefer original surfaces, and a clean coin can lose a huge percentage of its worth. And if you want maximum profit, patience is your best weapon, because sometimes the best offers come to those who wait, negotiate, and understand the true value of what they have. And finally, always be aware of scams and lowball offers, because rare coins attract opportunists. So deal only with reputable buyers, verified platforms, and established auction houses. And remember this: the 1955 double-die Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It's a legend, a collector's dream, and potentially a life-changing asset. If you follow these strategies with precision, confidence, and patience, you won't just sell your coin, you'll unlock its full hidden value and walk away with the absolute maximum money possible. Welcome back, treasure hunters, coin fanatics, and everyday people who just might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Today we are diving deep, and I mean obsessively deep, into one of the most talked about, most underestimated little pieces of copper in all of American numismatic history, the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny. And let me tell you right now, before we even get started, what you are about to discover in the next 9 minutes could literally change the way you look at every single penny you ever touch again. Because this tiny, unassuming 1-cent coin that most people toss into a jar, drop on the floor, and walk past, or hand to a cashier without a second thought, has a secret life packed with staggering value, mind-blowing rarity, shocking auction results, collector obsession, and hidden varieties that have sent coin dealers into an absolute frenzy. So let's start at the very beginning. Because to truly understand why the 1956 Lincoln penny is so explosively desirable, you need to know the breathtaking history behind it. The Lincoln wheat penny series was born in 1909, created by the brilliantly talented sculptor Victor David Brenner, to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, making it the first United States coin to ever feature a real historical figure on its face. A revolutionary and controversial decision that stunned the entire nation. And from that legendary origin point, the wheat penny was minted continuously for over 50 years, right up until 1958, meaning that by 1956, this coin was in the final, electrifying twilight of its production era, a last gasp chapter that collectors now treat like gold. And here is where things get absolutely explosive. Because, in 1956, the United States Mint was operating at full thundering capacity across two major facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. And this is where mint marks become the obsessive heartbeat of every serious collector. Because a 1956 penny struck in Philadelphia carries no mint mark at all, completely blank, under the date, while a 1956 Denver coin proudly wears a small but powerful D-mint mark. And that single tiny letter can mean the difference between a coin worth face value and one worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its condition and variety. Now let's talk numbers that will make your eyes go wide. Because the Philadelphia Mint produced a staggering 420,745,000 pennies in 1956, and Denver thundered out an equally massive 1,098,201,100 coins, which sounds like these coins should be absolutely worthless due to sheer volume. But here is the shocking twist that every collector knows and most people don't. The overwhelming majority of those coins were spent, melted, lost, corroded, or destroyed over the past 7 decades. And the ones that survived in pristine, uncirculated, high-grade condition are now breathtakingly scarce. And when a 1956 Lincoln wheat penny comes up for auction, graded MS-265, red, meaning mint state 65, with a blazing original red copper luster that looks like it just fell off the press this morning, collectors go absolutely wild, bidding hundreds of dollars for what was once a single cent. An MS-66 and MS-267 graded examples have shattered expectations at major auction houses, fetching prices that would make your grandfather's jaw hit the floor. But the story gets even more thrilling when we talk about the era coins and die varieties that turned the 1956 penny from an interesting collectible into a certified legend. Because among the billions of pennies minted that year, a small and wildly exciting number came out of the press with devastating and beautiful mistakes, doubled die errors, where the hub die struck the coin more than once at a slightly different angle, creating a ghost-like doubling effect on Lincoln's portrait, the date, or the lettering of "In God We Trust" and "Liberty." And when collectors spot one of these under a loupe or magnifying glass, their hands literally tremble. Because a confirmed 1956 double-die Lincoln penny in high grade is an earth-shaking find worth potentially thousands of dollars. With some examples quietly changing hands in private sales for figures that never make it into the public record. There are also repunched mint mark varieties on the 1956D, where the D was struck into the die more than once at slightly shifted positions, creating a dramatic and detectable doubling or tripling of the mint mark itself. And these PM varieties are cataloged obsessively by specialists using the Cherry Picker's Guide, the numismatic Bible of variety collectors. And cherry-picking, the art of finding these overlooked treasures in bulk rolls, estate lots, coin shows, and yes, even pocket change is one of the most addictively thrilling pursuits in the entire hobby. Now let's talk about proof coins, because the 1956 proof Lincoln penny is in a completely different universe of desirability. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint using specially polished dies pressed against specially prepared planchettes with mirror-like fields and frosted cameo devices. In the 1956 proof set was sold directly to collectors for just $2.10 at the time, making it one of the most affordable luxuries in mid-century America. And yet today, a 1956 proof penny graded PR68 red cameo by PCGS or NGC, the two most powerful and respected grading services on the planet, can command prices that will make you gasp out loud at auction, with deep cameo examples being so extraordinarily rare in top grades that when one surfaces, it creates a genuine firestorm of bidding activity. And this brings us to grading, the single most important factor that separates a coin worth a few dollars from one worth a few thousand. Because the 70-point Sheldon scale used by professional numismatists grades coins from poor 1 at the very bottom all the way up to a perfect mint state 70 at the absolute summit. And for the 1956 Lincoln penny, the color designation matters enormously. Road meaning full original, red RB meaning red-brown, and BN meaning brown with red coins, commanding the highest premiums, because that blazing copper fire tells the world that this coin has been perfectly preserved, untouched, unenvironmentally damaged, and essentially frozen in time, since the moment it was born in the mint press. And when you combine a top population grade with the road designation on a 1956 Lincoln penny, you are holding something that the entire worldwide collector community will chase with passionate, almost irrational intensity. The rarity factor is also amplified dramatically by the concept of population reports, because PCGS and NGC maintain meticulous databases of every coin they have ever graded. And when those databases reveal that only 2 or 3 examples of a 1956 Lincoln penny exist in MS-67 red, the market responds with ferocity, because scarcity plus demand equals explosive value. And that equation never fails in the coin collecting world. The auction record history for this coin is a story of steady, relentless appreciation, because, while general inflation has eaten away at the purchasing power of that original 1 cent, the finest known examples of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny have done the exact opposite, climbing in value year after year, decade after decade, making them not just fascinating historical artifacts, but genuinely serious alternative investments that outperform many traditional assets. Heritage auctions, stacks, bowers, great collections, and eBay's verified rare coin listings have all seen spirited battles for top-grade 1956 pennies. And if you want to see real-time shock in prices, just search completed eBay listings for 1956 Lincoln wheat penny, MS65 Road PCGS, and prepare to have your mind completely blown. Now here is the most important thing I want to leave every single viewer with today, because all of this history, all of this rarity, all of this staggering auction value lives inside a coin that is still theoretically findable in circulation, in grandmother's jars, in estate sales, in old bankrolls, and in forgotten collections, gathering dust in attics across America. And that possibility, that electric, heart-pounding possibility, is what makes coin collecting the most thrilling treasure hunt that ordinary people can participate in every single day of their lives. So the next time you see a Lincoln penny, flip it over, check for the wheat stalks on the reverse, look at the date, squint at that tiny mint mark position, pull out your loop, and check for doubling. And remember everything you learned today, because one ordinary afternoon, you might be holding something extraordinary. A 1956 Lincoln wheat penny in stunning condition with a rare variety or error that connects you directly to the golden age of American coinage and puts serious, shocking money in your pocket. Don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe for more jaw-dropping coin discoveries every single week. And drop a comment below telling me the oldest or rarest penny you have ever found. I read every single one. And you never know, your comment might just be the start of the most exciting coin story of your life. See you in the next video, and happy hunting. Welcome, coin hunters, treasure seekers, and history obsessives. Today we are diving deep, and I mean dangerously deep, into one of the most underestimated, jaw-dropping, mind-blowingly fascinating little coins that could be sitting right now in your pocket, your grandmother's cookie jar, or buried inside a dusty coin album in your attic. Yes, we are talking about the legendary, the mysterious, the absolutely electrifying 1957 Lincoln wheat penny, a 1-cent coin so packed with history, hidden value, shocking errors, and collector-grade rarity that the numismatic world has been buzzing about it for decades. And if you think a penny's just a penny, then buckle up, because what you are about to discover is going to absolutely shatter everything you thought you knew about small change. So let's start at the very beginning, because the story of this coin didn't just begin in 1957. It began back in 1909, when the legendary sculptor, Victor David Brenner, was commissioned by President Theodore Roosevelt himself to redesign the 1-cent coin to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. And when that coin first hit circulation, it became the first American coin to ever feature the face of a real historical president. A revolutionary and shocking move that changed numismatic history forever. And the iconic wheat stalk reversed designed those two gorgeous stalks of Durham wheat, framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, became one of the most beloved and recognizable coin designs in the entire world. And by 1957, this design had been gracing American pockets for 48 stunning years, making the 1957 issue one of the final chapters of the wheat penny era. Before it was replaced in 1958 and discontinued in 1959, which makes the 1957 coin not just a coin, but a precious farewell to an entire golden age of American coinage. Now let's talk about where this coin was made, because location is absolutely everything in the world of coin collecting. And in 1957, there were two mints striking Lincoln pennies, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. And here's where things get thrillingly important. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark at all, while coins from Denver bear a small but devastatingly powerful D mint mark just below the date on the obtuse. And that tiny letter D can be the difference between a coin worth face value and one worth hundreds of dollars to the right collector. Be his mint mark placement, sharpness, and variety can transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. And speaking of treasure, let's talk numbers, because the mintage figures for 1957 are staggering. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 282,540,000 pennies that year, while the Denver Mint struck an eye-popping 1,051,342,000 coins, making the Denver issue one of the highest mintage Lincoln wheat pennies ever produced. And you might be thinking, wait, if there are over 1 billion of these coins, how can any of them be rare? And this is where your mind is about to be. BLOWN. because rarity in coin collecting is not just about how many were made, it is about how many survived in pristine, uncirculated mint state condition. And here is the brutal truth. The vast majority of those billions of pennies were handled, spent, worn down, lost down drains, melted, and destroyed over the decades. Meaning that a 1957 Lincoln penny in flawless gem mint state condition is a genuinely rare and breathtaking find that serious collectors will pay a shocking premium to own. In fact, a 19 Philadelphia penny graded MS67, read by PCGS or NGC, the two most respected coin grading services in the world, can fetch anywhere from $300 to over $1,500 at auction. And red designation is critical here because Lincoln cents are graded not only by their surface preservation but also by their color, with red coins retaining their original blazing copper luster being worth dramatically more than red brown or brown examples. An original fiery red 1957 penny in superb gem. The condition is a sight so gorgeous it will make your jaw hit the floor. But wait, we haven't even gotten to the most electrifying part yet, because the world of Lincoln cent varieties and errors is a rabbit hole so deep and so rewarding that entire books have been written about it. And the 1957 cents are absolutely loaded with fascinating varieties that can send a coin's value skyrocketing into the stratosphere. Let's start with double die varieties, which occur when the working die used to strike coins receives a misaligned second hubbing during its creation, resulting in a coin where letters, numbers, or design elements appear doubled or tripled to the naked eye, or under magnification, and collectors go absolutely wild for these, paying jaw-dropping premiums for well-preserved examples. Then there are repunched mint marks on the 1957D, where the D mint mark was punched into the die more than once, at slightly different angles or positions, creating a dramatic overlapping effect that is unmistakable under a loupe and highly sought after by variety specialists. There are also die cracks, die chips, and die cuds, which are dramatic raised lines or lumps on the coin's surface caused by cracks or breaks in the work and die. And large dramatic examples of these are prized as spectacular conversation pieces and error coins that command serious money at auction. And then we enter the absolutely shocking world of major mint errors, off-center strikes, where the coin blank was not properly aligned under the die, resulting in a dramatically off-center image, are among the most visually stunning errors you can find. And a 1957 penny, that is 50% off-center with a visible date, can sell for hundreds of dollars instantly. Broad strikes occur when a coin is struck without a retaining collar that normally keeps the coin round, resulting in a wider, flatter coin with a dramatically spread design that looks almost alien compared to a normal penny-clipped planchet errors. Happen when the coin blank is punched from the metal strip in an area that overlaps a previously punched hole, creating a coin with a crescent-shaped piece missing from its edge. And these are genuinely jaw-dropping to hold in your hand, and the holy grail of all 1957 penny errors is the wrong planchet error, where a cent blank somehow ended up being struck by a different denomination's dies, or vice versa, creating a freak hybrid coin that can be worth thousands upon thousands of dollars to the right collector. Now let's talk about the proof coins of 1957. Because this is where things get truly special and truly valuable. The Philadelphia Mint produced 1,247,952 proof Lincoln cents in 1957. Stroke-on, specially polished planchets with specially prepared mirror finish dies, using multiple strikes at higher pressure to produce coins of absolutely breathtaking cameo quality with razor-sharp details and stunning reflective fields. And while the standard proof is already gorgeous and valuable, the real treasure is the cameo proof, where the design elements have a frosted, portrait-like finish, contrasting against the deeply mirrored fields. And the deep cameo or ultra cameo proof, the rarest and most desirable of all, where that frosted contrast is so dramatic and so intense that it looks like a tiny sculpture floating on a mirror. And a 1957 Lincoln cent graded PR68 deep cameo by PCGS can command anywhere from $500 to several $1,000s at auction, representing truly elite numismatic perfection. And speaking of auctions, let me give you some real-world examples that will make your eyes go wide, because heritage auctions, stacks, bowers, and great collections have all seen remarkable results for top-grade 1957 Lincoln cents, with register quality, MS67, red Philadelphia cents, and PR68 deep cameo proofs, regularly appearing in major sales and attracting fierce bidding battles between advanced collectors who understand that at the absolute top of the grade scale, even a so-called common date becomes devastatingly rare and enormously desirable. And this brings us to the most important lesson of this entire video, which is that you should never assume a coin is worthless simply because millions, or even billions, were minted. Because condition is king, errors are electrifying, varieties are valuable. And the difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth $1,000 can literally come down to a single microscopic detail that only a trained eye or a powerful loupe can reveal. So here is your action plan, your treasure hunting homework. Go through every coin collection, every jar of change, every inherited collection you have access to. Pull out every 1957 Lincoln wheat penny you can find. Examine them carefully under a 5x or 10x loupe for double dies, repunched, mint marks, die cracks, and off-center strikes. Check the color under natural light for that blazing original red luster. And if you find something that looks extraordinary, get it authenticated and graded by PCGS or NGC immediately, because you could be holding a genuine numismatic treasure worth far more than you ever imagined. The 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is proof that history, artistry, rarity, and shocking hidden value can all be packed into a single copper coin, the size of your thumbnail. And that is why coin collecting is not just a hobby. It is a thrilling, heart-pounding, potentially life-changing treasure hunt that never, ever gets old. If you found this video valuable and eye-opening, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a single coin reveal, and drop a comment below telling us if you have ever found a rare or valuable 1957 penny. We read every single one. And until next time, keep searching, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a single penny. If you've ever glanced at a simple copper penny and thought it was just loose change, think again, because today we are diving deep into the electrifying, mysterious, and surprisingly valuable world of the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that may look ordinary but hides stories of history, rarity, minting secrets, and jaw-dropping auction results that could change your life if you're lucky enough to find the right one. And as we unravel this incredible coin's journey, you'll discover why collectors across the globe are obsessed with it, why certain versions have sold for astonishing amounts, and how you might be holding a hidden treasure without even realizing it. Because the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny represents the final year of the iconic wheat reverse design, first introduced in 1909 under President Abraham Lincoln's centennial celebration, making it a historic milestone in American coinage. Designed by the legendary sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose initials VDB caused controversy when they first appeared prominently on early coins. And by 1958, this design had already become one of the most beloved and widely recognized coins in the world, featuring Lincoln's profile on the obverse and 2 elegant wheat stalks framing the denomination on the reverse, symbolizing prosperity and unity. Yet what makes the 1958 penny truly fascinating is not just its design, but the incredible variations, mint marks, errors, and collector demand that have turned some of these coins into absolute goldmines in the numismatic community. Because while billions were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, making most examples common and worth only a few cents to a few dollars depending on condition, the real magic lies in the rare varieties and mint errors that can skyrocket the value into thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. And one of the most shocking and legendary discoveries associated with this coin is the elusive and controversial 1958 double die obverse, a minting error where the date and lettering appeared dramatically doubled due to misalignment during the die creation process, creating a bold and unmistakable visual effect that collectors dream of finding. And although only a few confirmed examples exist, one of these ultra-rare coins reportedly sold for well over $100,000 at auction, making it one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever produced. And this is where the story becomes thrilling, because many collectors still search rolls of pennies, old jars, and inherited collections, hoping to uncover this one treasure. And even if you don't find the double die, there are still other factors that can significantly increase the value of your 1958 penny, including mint mark differences such as the D mint mark from the Denver Mint, which produced a large number of coins but still offers collectible opportunities in high-grade uncirculated condition. And coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services can fetch impressive prices due to their pristine surfaces, brilliant luster, and sharp strike details. And speaking of grading, understanding condition is absolutely critical. Yet, a worn coin with scratches and discoloration may only be worth its copper value, while a flawless example with full red coloration known as red or road in numismatic terms can command significantly higher premiums. And collectors often rely on trusted organizations like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company to authenticate and grade coins, ensuring accuracy and boosting buyer confidence during auctions. And auctions themselves are a thrilling arena where rare coins like the 1958 Lincoln penny can achieve astonishing results, especially when 2 determined collectors compete for a top-quality specimen, driving prices far beyond expectations. and platforms like heritage auctions have seen intense bidding wars over rare pennies, proving that even the smallest coin can create massive excitement and financial opportunity. And let's not forget about collectors. The passionate individuals who dedicate years, sometimes entire lifetimes, to building complete Lincoln cent collections, often striving to acquire every date, mint mark, and variety. And for them, the 1958 Penny is essential, not only because it marks the end of the Wheat series, but also because it represents a gateway into the modern era of Lincoln cents, transitioning into the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, making it a symbolic and historical bridge between two eras. And when we talk about eras and varieties, the 1958 penny offers a fascinating playground, including minor die cracks, off-center strikes, and planchet imperfections that can add uniqueness and value. Although these are generally less valuable than the famous double die, they still capture collector interest and can sell for premiums depending on their severity and visual appeal. And another critical factor influencing value is demand, which fluctuates based on market trends, collector interest, and the overall popularity of coin collecting as a hobby. And in recent years, the rise of online marketplaces and social media has fueled renewed interest in coins, with viral videos and posts showcasing rare finds and inspiring new collectors to join the hunt. And this increased demand can drive prices upward, especially for high-grade or rare examples. And now let's talk about how rare the 1958 Lincoln penny truly is. Because while the overall mintage is high, over 250 million coins from Philadelphia alone and more than 800 million from Denver, the rarity lies in condition and specific varieties, meaning that while the coin itself is common, finding one in perfect uncirculated condition with full red color and no blemishes is surprisingly difficult. And this scarcity of high-grade examples is what creates value, as collectors compete for the best of the best. And if you're wondering how to identify a valuable 1958 penny, start by examining the date and lettering under magnification to look for doubling. Check the mint mark below the date, assess the color and luster, and consider having the coin professionally graded if it appears to be in exceptional condition. And when it comes to selling, maximizing your profit requires strategy and patience, because simply listing your coin online without proper presentation may result in a lower price. So it's essential to take clear, high-quality photos, highlight any unique features or errors, and provide accurate descriptions. And choosing the right platform is equally important. Whether it's an online auction site, a coin dealer, or a major auction house, each option has its pros and cons. And for high-value coins, consignment with a reputable auction house like Heritage can attract serious collectors and competitive bidding, potentially driving the final price much higher. And timing also plays a role, as selling during peak collector interest or when similar coins are achieving record prices can significantly impact your results. And one of the most powerful tips is to build anticipation and excitement around your coin, using storytelling and compelling descriptions to capture the attention of potential buyers, because in the world of coin collecting, emotion and history often play just as big a role as rarity and condition. And as we continue exploring the 1958 Lincoln penny, it's impossible not to feel a sense of wonder at how such a small, seemingly insignificant object can carry so much history, intrigue, and potential value, reminding us that treasures can be hidden in the most unexpected places. And whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting your journey, this coin offers endless opportunities for discovery, learning, and possibly even life-changing profit. So the next time you come across a penny, don't dismiss it, examine it closely, because you never know if you might be holding a piece of history worth far more than 1 cent. And that is the thrilling, captivating, and truly shocking story of the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny, a coin that proves beyond any doubt that even the smallest details can lead to the biggest rewards in the fascinating world of numismatics. If you want to sell your 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny and squeeze out the absolute maximum profit, here's the powerful strategy smart collectors use. Never rush to sell, because patience equals money in the coin world. Start by carefully inspecting your coin under good lighting and magnification, looking for rare features like doubling, sharp details, and original red color, because even a small detail can multiply its value. Then get it authenticated and graded by trusted companies like Professional Coin Grading Service or New Guarantee Company, since graded coins sell for much higher prices and attract serious buyers. Next, take crystal clear high resolution photos showing both sides of the coin, highlighting every detail because presentation can dramatically increase buyer interest. Then choose the right selling platform. If your coin is rare or high, go for major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, where competitive bidding can skyrocket the price. But if it's a more common coin, platforms like eBay or local coin dealers can still bring solid returns. Always write a compelling Exciting description using words like rare, brilliant, hey-grade, or collector's dream to grab attention and create urgency. And most importantly, time your sale wisely by watching market trends and selling when demand is high, because the right timing can mean the difference between a normal sale and an unbelievable payday. And remember, the secret to getting the most money isn't just what you sell, it's how you present, promote, and position your coin to the world.